Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the reading of the Declaration and Retirement Order. The Meritorious Service Medal reads, "This is to certify that the President of the United States of America has awarded the Meritorious Service Medal, 3rd Oak Leaf Cluster, to Lieutenant Colonel Patrick D. Cain for meritorious service from 1 July 2015 to 22 June 2017. Lieutenant Colonel Patrick D. Cain distinguished himself in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as Commander, 22nd Maintenance Squadron, 22nd Maintenance Group, 22nd Air Refueling Wing, McConnell Air Force Base, Kansas. During this period, Lieutenant Colonel Cain was directly responsible for organizing, training, and leading 472 total force airmen across 11 Air Force specialties. His leadership enabled over 950 field-level repairs, saving the Air Force over $8 million, contributing to McConnell's aircraft flying 44% of all Air Mobility Command's KC-135 flying hours. Additionally, he managed Air Mobility Command's directed hydraulic repair network integration, merging 90 airmen from the 22nd Aircraft Maintenance Squadron into the 22nd Maintenance Squadron. His expert leadership ensured the merger was a success and exceeded higher headquarters timeline. Furthermore, Lieutenant Colonel Cain oversaw the stand-up for the first 22nd Air Refueling Wing active duty munitions flight since 1994, guaranteeing the safe transfer of 1,700 munitions for 37 custody accounts across 5 wings and 3 major commands. Finally, he drove the bed down and hangar construction plan worth $267 million for Air Mobility Command's top acquisitions project. His team developed an acceptance, storage, and training plan for support equipment arrival, posturing McConnell Air Force Base for the advent of the KC-46. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Lieutenant Colonel Cain culminate a distinguished career in the service of his country and reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Attention to orders. Department of the Air Force, Special Order Number ACD 00385, effective 25 February 2018, Lieutenant Colonel Patrick D. Cain is relieved from active duty 22nd Maintenance Group, 22nd Air Refueling Wing, McConnell Air Force Base, Kansas, and is retired in accordance with Air Force Instruction 36-3203 in the grade of Lieutenant Colonel by order of the Secretary of the Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. We now invite Mrs. Cain to please come forward to place the retirement pin on Lieutenant Colonel Cain.
I can look forward to this one.
I
don't see any blood yet.
No bag.
Yeah, I know, there's no bag.
At this time, Lieutenant General Litchfield would like to present Mrs. Cain a certificate of appreciation from the Secretary of the Air Force. It reads, "In grateful appreciation, the United States Air Force presents this certificate of recognition to Mrs. Genevieve D. Cain for the commitment and numerous contributions that made positive impacts to the nation's defense. Thank you for the support which gives strength and purpose to your spouse's service. Given this 25th day of February 2018, Signed, David Goldfein, General, United States Air Force, Chief of Staff.
You earned every bit. No, you gotta hug him.
I gotta put them again.
Thank you, Mrs. Cain. General Litchfield will now present the Chief of Staff of the Air Force Certificate of Retirement. The certificate reads, Certificate of Retirement from the Armed Forces of the United States of America. To all who shall see these presents, greetings. This is to certify that Lieutenant Colonel Patrick D. Cain, having served faithfully and honorably, was retired from the United States Air Force on the 25th day of February of the year 2018. Signed, David Goldfein, General, United States Air Force, Chief of Staff. At the table to our right, we will also have displayed a certificate from the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force and a letter of appreciation from Colonel Joshua M. Olson, the commander of the 22nd Air Refueling Wing, McConnell. Ladies and gentlemen, the Tinker Honor Guard will now perform a flag-folding ceremony in honor of Lieutenant Colonel Cain. The flag that they are using today represents Colonel Cain's personal flag, on display to my right, that in 1997 was the first flag to fly on the newly inaugurated flagpole and drill pad at the Edwards Air Force Base Airman Leadership School. The flag was presented to then Staff Sergeant Cain upon his PCS to Randolph Air Force Base, Texas in 1999. Since then, this flag has been with him to 7 follow-on assignments, deployed with him on 4 occasions in support of Operations Enduring Freedom, Operation Iraqi Freedom, and Operation Horn of Africa. It has flown with him on both inter and intra-theater airlift on C-130s, C-17s, and KC-135 aircraft, and finally was flown in combat on A-10 Warthogs, B-1B bombers, F-15E Strike Eagles, KC-10 extenders, E-3 AWACS, F-22 Raptors, U-2 Dragons, and ERQ-4 Global Hawks, as well as the RC-135 rivet joint aircraft.
Stand by. Detail. Tick. Hut. Ready. Step.
For more than 200 years, the American flag has been the symbol of our nation's unity, as well as a source of pride and inspiration for millions of citizens. Born on June 14, 1777, the Second Continental Congress determined that the flag of the United States be 13 stripes, alternating between 7 red and 6 white, and that the Union be 13 stars, white in a blue field, representing a new constellation. Between 1777 and 1960, the shape and the design of the flag evolved into the flag presented before you today. The 13 horizontal stripes present the original 13 colonies, while the stars represent the 50 states of the Union. The colors of the flag are symbolic as well. Red symbolizes hardiness and valor. White signifies purity and innocence. And blue represents vigilance, perseverance, and justice. Traditionally a symbol of liberty, the American flag has carried the message of freedom and inspired Americans, both at home and abroad. In 1814, Francis Scott Key was so moved at seeing the stars and stripes waving after the British shelling of Baltimore's Fort McHenry that he wrote the words to the Star-Spangled Banner. In 1892, the flag inspired Francis Bellamy to write the Pledge of Allegiance, our most famous flag salute and patriotic oath. In July 1969, The American flag was flown in space when Neil Armstrong planted it on the surface of the moon. Today, our flag flies on constellations of Air Force satellites that circle our globe and on the fin flash of our aircraft in harm's way in every corner of the world. Indeed, it flies in the heart of every airman who serves our great nation. The sun never sets on our United States Air Force, nor the flag we so proudly cherish. Since 1776, no generation of Americans has been spared the responsibility of defending freedom. Today's airmen remain committed to preserving the freedoms that others won for us for generations to come. By displaying the flag and giving it a distinctive fold, we show respect to the flag and express our gratitude to those individuals who fought and continue to fight for freedom at home and abroad. Since the dawn of the 20th century, airmen have proudly flown the flag in every major conflict on land and skies around the world. It is their responsibility, our responsibility, to continue to protect and preserve the rights, privileges, and freedoms that we as Americans enjoy today. The United States flag represents who we are. It stands for the freedom we all share and the pride and patriotism we feel for our country. We cherish its legacy as a beacon of hope to one and all. Long may it wave.
Sir, we offer this flag on behalf of the Department of the Air Force and the grateful nation for 29 years of dedicated honorable service for your country. We thank you for your service, sir.